Hello everyone and welcome back to Curtain Up, my monthly series where I catch you up on all things theatre related that I've been up to in the month. Quick disclaimer, it's very clammy and hot in London at the moment, but I've closed all the windows to make sure there's no noise or anything, and that means that I am very sweaty right now. So if I look like a mess in this video, please just ignore that, but there's not a huge amount I can do. I don't want to put a fan on that makes noise, so we're just gonna have to deal with me looking like a hot mess. May has been an interesting month for me, not in a good way. There's been some personal issues going on which I'll mention at the relevant point of this video. So it's not been the busiest month for me theatre wise because I've been going through some stuff, but let's crack on with it. Let me tell you what I got up to in May. The first theatre trip in May was a return visit to Hamilton the musical at the Victoria Palace Theatre. This was my 5th trip to Hamilton. I am so lucky. I didn't vlog it this time because I've literally vlogged all of my trips to Hamilton before, so if you want to watch those, I'll try and link them in the description. First time I saw it was obviously getting the returns ticket. Second time was the booked trip, and then the third and fourth trips are in their cheapest seat video for Hamilton because they are the cheapest price bands. So yeah, I thought I don't want to vlog it again because it kind of feels like been there, done that, quite literally got a t-shirt of it. But it was really lovely to see the show again, and there were a couple of understudies on. So I had Ash Hunter on as Hamilton, and I love his Hamilton, so I was very happy to see him again. Miriam Teakley was also on as Angelica again, and she's who I saw as Angelica the last time I saw the show, so it was really great to see her again. And was that it understudy wise? I got to see Giles Terrera again. I haven't seen him as Burr for a while. I think the last time I saw him was actually the second time that I saw the show, so it's literally been 5 months since I last saw him. So that was good to see him again. He's definitely, in my opinion, much better than the last time I saw him, but I would still prefer Safiso's Burr. And you know, Hamilton is just amazing, so it was fantastic to see it again. As I say, I didn't vlog it, but I will be putting up a video at some point of my 10 favourite moments from seeing Hamilton live, because I just thought that might be a bit more interesting than another vlog, hopefully. I don't know. The next stagey thing in May was a return visit to Cadogan Hall. I've never been to Cadogan Hall until last month, April, for Carrie Hope Fletcher's concert, and then this month it was for the Magic of Animation concert, which Carrie Hope Fletcher was also doing, which was really fun. Also Rachel Tucker was there, Marisha Wallace, Celinda Schoenmaker. It was an amazing lineup, and it was a really wonderful concert. I really enjoyed it. They did loads of songs from Disney and other animated films from my childhood, and yeah, it was just great. I'm really glad that I went. I was kind of umming and ahhing about going, but a friend of mine had to sell his ticket, and I was like, you know, I'll take it. It was a cheaper ticket, so I thought I'll buy it. But the concerts at Cadogan Hall are just so expensive, so I don't resent paying it, but I kind of do. But it was really good, and I'm glad that I went. And then I'm back at Cadogan Hall at the start of next month as well, so lots of trips to Cadogan Hall. The next show that I saw was HRH at the Union Theatre. I'd not actually been to the new Union Theatre space. It moved to this new space a couple of years ago, I think, maybe 3 years ago, and I've just never been there. But my friend Tori is in this show and she's absolutely fantastic, and I definitely wanted to go along and support her, and the show was really funny as well. The show is funnily apt because it's about a girl who's in a relationship with this guy, and then it turns out that he's one of the princes. He's part of the royal family, but he didn't want that life, so he's pretending to not be a prince. And she is the girl, wow, I'm explaining this so well. The girl is very much like Meghan Markle, so it's kind of what's happening now with the whole royal wedding and everything, but it was written years ago, and I don't know if they knew about that when they were writing it, but it's very apt now. And the character that Tori plays, Chelsea, she is obviously a very down-to-earth, normal girl. I'm not saying that as an insult, but you know, very normal, and she actually hates the royals. She hates the royal families. The whole show is obviously about them finding out that her boyfriend is part of the royal family. He's a prince, and like, what are they gonna do? How's that gonna change their life? All the drama. But it was a really funny show, and it was really nice to visit the new Union Theatre. It's much nicer than the old space, it was just very tiny at the old Union Theatre, so that's nice. They've got like a bigger bar space and everything, and can be a bit more of like a community feel now. The next show that I went to, well, it wasn't really a show, more like a showcase. It was Musical Bites at the Other Palace. I love the Other Palace. I'm sure you know this if you follow my channel, but they have this really great thing called Musical Bites, and it used to be in the studio space. They've now moved it to the main space, which I think is a great move. And we got to see 15-minute snippets of 6 new shows. So it's a really exciting way to show off this new work, to introduce you to it. And there are definitely a few shows in there that I would love to see fully done. And there were some fantastic people doing some of the showpieces as well, including Rachel Tucker, who we know that I love, and Dan Buckley, felt weird to say Daniel, who was recently in Eugenius, also at the Other Palace, and people like Renee Lamb, who I saw in Six, the musical. So there was quite a few familiar faces. I would have gone along even if they weren't in it, because I love seeing new stuff, and so nights like this are really exciting, but obviously it's great when people that you know and love are in these pieces as well. I'll quickly read the description of a couple of shows that I loved from the showcase, so if you want to go and like check them out, I'll try and leave some links below. So the first one that I saw was Lucky from the Riveters, and the description is a musical comedy set in a dystopian future Britain where a war between robots and mankind has wiped out the majority of humanity, particularly the mankind. Yep, while we were all watching our world leaders, we should have been watching our contactless payment machines and NutriBullets. 10 years after the Great Robot War, a small community of women survivors live in relative harmony, a post-apocalyptic world. Women's Institute, making jam and shooting trespassers. The women work together to try and build a future, but unfortunately, without the arrival of any men, there isn't going to be a future. Dun, dun, dun. So their piece was the opening number of the show, and basically it all started off fairly normal considering the setting, and then by the end of it, all they were singing about is the fact that they needed semen. So that's a musical that would be hilarious, and I feel like would be a great one to see. Looking at the sheet of paper with all the info again, I'm like remembering how good all of these were, but I'm just going to read out 2 more that I really enjoyed. So there was Killer Queen, which is set in the Parisian streets of the late 1700s. Killer Queen is the modern reimagining of a crime that brought the world's most powerful woman to her knees. Gianna, I think her name was called Gianna, a scorned but skillful orphan, is determined to reclaim her royal name, and with the help of a desperate cardinal and a cunning lover, she plans to deceive and manipulate all those who ever jilted her. A feisty new musical set in France, but with a distinctly British flavour, which explores the unheard chain of events that led to French Revolution. This is not a Les Miserables, this is Killer Queen with a killer soundtrack. So that one was a really interesting one because it's actually, I think, based on, truth. So I really liked the sound of that. And obviously at the moment, it's a hot trend to have like history with a like modern twist of music. Like that's obviously doing well. So that sounded really fun. The last show I'm going to talk about is called Operation Mincemeat, and I really liked this one. It's again sort of similar in terms of like history, but I thought this was really cleverly done and written, so that's why I really enjoyed it. So the description is, the year is 1943 and right now we're losing the war. Luckily, we're about to gamble all our futures on a dead tramp. Operation Mincemeat is a fast-paced, hilarious and unbelievable true story of the twisted secret mission that somehow won us World War II. The question is, how did a well-dressed corpse wrong-foot Hitler into handing over Europe? Created by 3 members of critically acclaimed comedy troupe Kill the Beast and inspired musically by Hamilton, South Park and 40 Swing, Operation Mincemeat rousingly investigates national pride, dumb luck, who writes our histories, and what the hell we're all fighting for in the first place. That one was performed by Renee Lamb and Dan Buckley, so they were just fantastic together, and it's so nice to see people that you've seen in like different, like really different shows come together and just work brilliantly. So those are my favourite ones, but I'll try and put up the sheet that I've just been writing from so you can like have a quick browse at that. I loved it. It was such a great night, and it was only like £15 as well, so if you can ever get to the other palace to see one of those, I would highly recommend doing so. The next show that I saw was another piece of new theatre writing, and this was called Heart of Winter, that I saw at the Crazy Clocks, live at Cedar, who knows what it's called, live at Cedar Brasserie in Piccadilly Circus, and it's a one-woman piece, and it was performed by Rebecca Traherne, who I adore. I think she's amazing, so talented, and obviously wanted to support new writing, but obviously want to support whatever she's doing if I can, and she's just incredible. And I loved this piece. It really kind of reminded me of The Last 5 Years. It had that sort of vibe because it was about a woman who was going through a breakup, obviously in winter, as you can tell by the title, and how she was kind of like getting through it. And I think doing a one-woman piece must be so daunting because it's just you, and especially with such a minimal set as well, because at the Crazy Cocks it's mainly like a concert space, so she had very minimal props, but just told the story so well. And I love that with pieces like this it really forces you to imagine the scenarios. I definitely think with a bit of fleshing out, it just needs to be a bit longer because it was only about 40 minutes. It would be a really wonderful piece to have in a small theatre, and Rebecca is just incredibly talented, so loved that. The next show that I saw was Wicked, because it wouldn't be me if I went a month without seeing Wicked. So I went to see it in London because Laura Pick was on, and also Claudia, I'm gonna say her surname wrong, Kariuki. I'm terribly sorry, I probably just butchered that. But Claudia was on as Madame Morrible as well, and I hadn't seen her as Madame Morrible, and I thought, that'll be fun, let's go see her as well. Laura was on for the weekend, so I was originally going to go on Saturday, but then when I found out that Claudia was going to be on Thursday, I thought, why the heck not, let's go on Thursday. I was actually working that morning, so Sam went and got a day seat for me, so thank you very much, Sam for God, you are a babe. I'm very spoiled, but I love being on the front row, and it's so much cheaper, so if you can be on the front row, why not? I mean, it's not been a while since I saw Wicked in London. For me, it's been a while since I saw Wicked in London because I didn't see it last month, so it was in March, which is a while ago now, right? It was amazing to see Laura again. I am such a fangirl for her Elphaba. I just think what she does with the role is amazing, and you know, it's hard with a character like that, well, there's not really like that much you can change yourself, but the way she sings it, the way she acts it, I just love everything she does with it. I don't think there's anything that I could actually fault about the way she does her Elphaba, so yeah, I am a fan. And then Claudia as Morrible was so good, incredibly sassy, I loved it. And I mean, we're so lucky with the Morribles at the moment because I love Melanie, who normally plays the role of Madame Morrible, and Kim on tour as well. So we've got good Morribles at the moment. But yeah, Claudia was fantastic. And I think that was her last kind of scheduled run to do it as well. So I'm really glad that I managed to get to see her because that was great. After that, it was another return visit to a show, and I went to see Chess with Sam. We saw it on first preview last month, but even then we were like, we need to see it again. And also because of what happened at the first preview, obviously there was a bit of an issue in the interval, and then Kellen Chug Jones had to take over from Tim Howell, so it was a very exciting first preview, don't get me wrong, but I also had like a bad seat for first preview. Like the balcony was not fantastic, especially when I then We then sat in the dress circle. We managed to get some rush tickets through Todaytix. So to get dress circle seats that should be £105 for £25, that's a winner. My view was so much better, and I felt really annoyed because the balcony view was just not great at all. So that kind of sucked, but that's why I'm really glad I got to see it again. I got to see Tim Howard's full performance, which was nice, and I really liked it. The book is a bit of a mess, I can't deny that, but I think the whole spectacle of it and the orchestra sound amazing and the cast is so good, and I just loved seeing it again. And it was great to see it again when Sam actually sat next to each other this time. So that was really fun. The next stagey thing that happened was Louise Dearman's concert at the Other Palace, which was very exciting because she's not done a solo gig in a long time. I really enjoyed her solo gigs, like way back in like 2013, did she do any in 2014? I think 2013 was her last one that I saw. She's got such an amazing stage presence in her concerts. She's so funny, she's so natural, and to be able to see all of that in a concert again was really wonderful. And it was so nice to see so many people that I've not seen in ages as well, because lots of people like came out of the woodworks to come see Louise in concert. So that was a really fantastic evening. I really enjoyed that. And then the next day, I got to see Rebecca Trahan do a little concert as well. I'm getting to see a lot of Rebecca Trahan at the moment, which I'm absolutely loving. She did a concert at the Pizza Express Live in Holborn. It's called, I think, like Comparing Notes. So it was with Edward Seckerson, and it was kind of like an interview style concert, which I really enjoyed the format of, because it kind of took us through Rebecca's history from like her childhood and how she got into performing, and then kind of up to now, and like touching on each of the big shows that she's done. So really enjoyed that, and it was nice to see that she felt quite natural doing so, because for some people doing concerts is a bit daunting and they don't enjoy it so much. So it's always nice to see when someone is actually enjoying the format of the show and having a good time with it. After that, the next show that I saw was Strictly Ballroom at the Piccadilly Theatre. This was actually the second time that I saw this show, and I don't love it. I mainly went back to see it again because one of my hard drives broke recently, so I've lost a lot of footage. So I was like, well, partly I need to film stuff to put a vlog together, and secondly, I just wanted to see it again just to kind of solidify my opinion on not liking it. And I realised that I am very privileged to be able to do that, to be able to just like get a ticket and go along, because I managed to get a ticket through work. I didn't want to pay for it, to be honest. And yeah, there's that show is just not for me. Like, there are lots of things, and I'll try and talk about it properly in the vlog, but there are lots of things in that show that are not the things that I love. So I'll leave it at that for now and then tease you for the vlog. The next kind of stagey thing that happened was the musical theatre quiz at the Other Palace. I've been spending a lot of time at the Other Palace this month, and I'm not complaining. I've been wanting to go to the Other Palace quiz for a couple of months now. I think this was their third one, and I've been like busy or had something booked the last two times. So this time was like third time lucky. I'm going to the Other Palace quiz. We came second to last, but we had a great time, so that was really good. And I can't go to the one next month, but hopefully I'll be able to go to the one in the summer. It was such a fun night. Honestly, I don't even really care about us losing because we had a great time and it was really fun. So I'm really glad that the Other Palace are doing this. It's a great idea and it was really fun. The next show I saw was Beautiful at the new Wimbledon Theatre. I saw the UK tour of it. I've been wanting to see this UK tour basically since they announced it, but I think this is definitely the closest they've come to London, obviously being Wimbledon, but I don't think there's been an opportunity for me to easily see it, you know, closer. I love Beautiful. I think it's a great show, and I really wanted to see Bronte Barb as Carole King, and she was fantastic. The only shame was that I had an older lady sat next to me throughout the entire show. Whenever any of the songs started, she'd have this moment of being like, oh, like, I know this song, and then was singing along. And she was an old lady. I didn't want to be horrible and tell her to shut up, but thankfully it was pretty quiet. I could kind of tune it out. At one point I did want to just go like this and hope that she got the hint. I'm too nice. I couldn't do it. So yeah, thankfully it didn't ruin it too much, but it was pretty annoying. Yeah, jukebox musicals, woo! And the last thing that I'm doing, it's not happened yet, I'm going tonight, but this was my first opportunity to like film. I'm going to see A Little Princess at the South Bank Centre. I was about to say the Southwark Playhouse, completely wrong. South Bank Centre. It's a premiere of this as a new musical, and I'm intrigued and excited. Rebecca Traherne's doing it. Lots of Rebecca Traherne. Danny Mac, Alexia Kadim, lots of other people. I can't remember who's doing it now, but yeah, I'm excited for it. And the South Bank Centre is probably going to be really warm, so that I am not excited about. I know I mentioned this at the start, but I wasn't sure if I should mention this, but I guess I am. So if you follow my channel, you might have noticed a bit of like radio silence recently. Something happened in May and my mind has just gone into a really bad state. So my mum passed away a few years ago, and I know my mental health has been a bit ruined since then. So some kind of family stuff, which obviously I'm not going to mention or like to go into, some family stuff has kind of caused those emotions to resurface. And if you're lucky enough to have never dealt with any like depression or like depressive moods, you're very lucky, first of all. But if you have, unfortunately, then you'll know that sometimes you can get into just like these just kind of black pits of feeling nothing, which is kind of worse than feeling just sad. So there has been a couple of weeks where I've just not wanted to do anything. I didn't want to create any videos. I didn't want to go to the theatre at some points. That's how bad it got. And my job is getting me down at the moment as well, so that's not helped, but it has encouraged me to revamp my entire CV and applied for a load of jobs, so fingers crossed. So yeah, it's been a bit bad mentally this month. And as I mentioned as well, one of my hard drives just broke, so I've lost a lot of like photos and videos and things like that, which hopefully I need to send it off to try and get recovered. Hopefully that'll fix it, but it's just, I have this weird thing where I'm like, bad things come in 3, and then 3 things happened, and now I'm like, great, woo. So I've been a bit depressed, basically, and it just kind of threw me off a little bit, but hopefully June will be better. Hopefully I'll be like creating the things I want to create. That's another thing, I've not really been happy with the content I've been creating at the moment, so that's annoying when you're a creative person and like YouTube is your hobby and you feel like you're not doing well enough, you're not talented or anything. Like when your brain feels bad and these are the only things it tells you, it's not great, is it? So yeah, that's been happening. Just wanted to be transparent, don't want to pretend that I'm fine when I'm not, but I'm kind of coming out of that phase now, hopefully. So and I'm sweating a lot. This has literally been me throughout this entire video, like taking little pauses to dab that sweat away. Yeah, well, on that note, I'm gonna wrap this up. Obviously, I would love to know if you've been doing anything stagey this month. Please do let me know in the comments down below, because I love hearing what you're up to. Sorry for the YouTube silence, but I didn't want to just put crap out there for the sake of putting crap out there. Hopefully I'll catch up on all the videos I need to edit and stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!